Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today, we're gonna be taking a look at my top 10 Halloween themed palettes. So for this one, the ranking that I chose was, I only had 11 total palettes that are actually sort of Halloween themed. And so I am really harshly grading not just on how closely it is actually related to a Halloween theme, but also quality of the eyeshadows, color story, how much that really fits with the Halloween theme. And so we are just gonna jump right in. And since I have 11, there are two that are my bottom two, so to speak. So my number 10 is gonna be two different palettes. So first of the two number 10 palettes is gonna be from Makeup by Murder. This is their Crime Scene palette. And the main reason why this one is number 10 is that it's a rainbow palette, which I don't particularly view as being Halloween themed. And so even though all of Makeup by Murder's aesthetic is around like true crime and murder type stuff, like it's just a rainbow palette to me does not really speak Halloween. And so I felt like it was close enough because of the true crime theme that I was like, we'll put it in, but it's definitely one of my two number 10s. And the other one is going to be a collab palette between Lethal Cosmetics and Teresa Is Dead. And this is the Lethal Is Dead palette. And also, again, not a Halloween themed palette, but Teresa loves horror movies, and so all of the shade names and everything are all revolving around horror films. And so you have The Final Girl, Spellbound, Body Snatched, Watery Grave, Creature Feature, all of that kind of stuff that is very Halloween-y. The color story to me, not hugely Halloween-y, but still you could definitely make some kind of Halloween look out of it. And so that's why this one is also my number 10, because it's not really a Halloween theme, but the names and the idea behind it very much so fall in line with like horror movies and Halloween themes. So those are my two number 10s. So now we're gonna get into the rest of the line and we're gonna be doing some swatching. So number 9, from Cursed Cosmetics, we have the Spellbook. And already just the design of the palette, very Halloween, very spooky, witchy vibes. And then when you open it up, even has like a whole, like I guess, spell on there, and then very much your deeper earthy tones, very this type of, you know, time of year type of palette. The reason why this one is also my number 9 is that the quality of the eyeshadows isn't bad, but it's definitely not one of my favorite formulas. They also have 3 glitters down at the bottom that I would never use, and so there's only a few other shimmers. But let me go ahead and swatch this metallic for you. That's the shade Hex. It's a very nice silver shade. There you go. And they are definitely very, very pigmented, the metallics that they have in there. I would just say it's just not my favorite formula, but they are very, very nice. And so if you like this color story, it'd be worth it to check them out. It's just not as much like my favorite. All right, number 8 is going to be from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics, which is a UK indie brand. This is the Glamoween palette, which is also a collab palette between Sydney Nicole and Spoiled Lips. And already the design on the front, very witchy, very colorful, really liked that. And then on the inside, I'm just gonna try not to blind you guys, but around the mirror, you have very like moon and spell kind of looking things on there, very nifty. And then this is the color story. You have all of the smaller squares are eyeshadows, and then down at the bottom you have 2 highlighters. Very much so the names of all of the shades: werewolf, haunted house, ghoulish, vampire, trick-or-treat, all of it very Halloween. And it's all matte shades aside from the 2 highlighters that are down here. And I would say that you could layer these really nicely on top of any of these shades. And so if you're wanting to have something that has more shine to it, you can just layer it with either of those 2 shades on there. So let me go ahead and swatch one of them for you so you can see what it looks like. So this is Lucky 13. And you can see you can definitely build it up to where it is very, very pigmented. But if you're just using a brush and you add on there, it's just going to add a little bit of that shine on top of whatever matte shade you layered on top of. It does also have like ever so slight, like a glow in the dark kind of limey shade to it, so very, very cool. But mainly because this is literally the only shimmery shades in the palette, that's why it's my number 8, because we know I like a very shiny look. Number 7 is going to be from Wednesday Cosmetics. This is the Blood Moon palette, and this one is super cool. The silver shade up top here, we are definitely going to swatch its Transcendence. It is a beautiful chrome. So here we go. Look at that foiled chrome right there. It is absolutely gorgeous. Tons and tons of reflect. It's almost like a mirror when you apply it. So it is absolutely beautiful. So the quality in this palette is definitely really, really good. The matte shades are super pigmented. There's two, like, this is your only foil in the palette, then you have this kind of iridescent that is celestial, and then there are a couple other metallic shades up in the top row here, but it is primarily matte shades. They're very pigmented. The only thing I would say is that for me, this color story is not quite as Halloween-y as I would like. I prefer a lot more of oranges, purples, and greens rather than a lot of reds and blues. But if you are someone that's looking for like a very vampy kind of look, this is a great color story because the blues and reds blend together really, really well for a nice smoky eye. I just tend to lean more to like the purples and greens and oranges, which is why some of these other palettes are higher on the list, as we'll see based on their color stories. All right, number 6 is going to be from Rebel Rouge Labs. This is the Howlin' For You palette. This is the outer casing, but it is one of those palettes where I absolutely love the artwork so much that I keep both. And so this is what the actual palette looks like. It's got a really cool wolf on there. I'm guessing they're wanting it to be more like a werewolf. And then you've got a graveyard around it, some green lightning bolts, and the color story. This is my kind of color story for Halloween. All of the oranges, greens, and purples. Like, this is such a good color story for me. When I think of Halloween, this is what I think of. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is this like rainbowy glitter in the middle there. I could do without that, but everything else is so, so nice. You have 4 matte shades and 4 metallic shades. So we are going to swatch Illusion, which is a beautiful purple metallic, and it's super thick. Look at that. Oh, yes. So, so nice. I mean, just so soft and smooth, but very pigmented, immediately opaque. So the quality of this palette is really, really good. I believe Rebel Rouge is on Etsy, and so if you're wanting to check them out, go check out their Etsy shop. This palette is usually only around the Halloween season that you can get it. I don't know if they changed that, but when I grabbed it, it was limited edition, that they only re-released it every year around Halloween time, so go check it out. Then number 5 from Beauty Bay, we have the Book of Magic, which very witchy, and this color story is absolutely beautiful with all of the different purples and blues, and I mean even the brownish beigey tones down at the bottom are really nice. I absolutely love the formula from Beauty Bay. It is one of my top favorites along with Menagerie, and so really, really love these. They're so inexpensive. The only thing I would say why this one isn't higher is that because the color story, as much as I love it, it doesn't scream Halloween quite as much to me, but the formula bumps it up there to number 5. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the shade Crystal for you guys because it is very, very pretty, and it is more of a duochrome. So here we go. It's got a brown base to it with a silverish green on top. So you can really see the brown base, and then look at that silverish green that is on top. Oh, that is so, so pretty. Love it. And then you know, we're gonna swatch another one. We're gonna swatch the shade Jinx as well because that's looking real, real pretty. It is a very deep shade. Look at that. For midnight blue, really, really nice and beautiful. Oh man, those two shades together already. I could totally see myself layering them into a look. Yes. And maybe throwing that chrome shade on top. Ooh, settle down. All right. But yeah, I absolutely love Beauty Bay. If they came out with like a just only Halloween shade palette, I would probably die. I'd be like, this is the best thing ever. All right, number 4 is gonna be from Lunar Beauty. It is the Moonspell palette. Lunar Beauty's eyeshadow formula is really, really good. I really enjoy it, and it is like a book how it comes out here. You've got the outer case, and then you have the Moonspell book inside of here. It is so gorgeous. The gold like filigree on it the whole way around, it is so, so magical. And then when you open it up, all of the shade names are famous witches. So I absolutely love what Manny did with this palette. It is so, so gorgeous. Love the color story, screams Halloween for me with the purples and the greens, and oh, just all of it is so, so nice. We will go ahead and swatch. Let's go with Phoebe in here, which is a very pretty magenta purple kind of shade. Look at that. Definitely more on the magenta side. In the palette, it looks very purple, and you can kind of see how it's got that purple on top of the hot pink that's underneath. And so it's very, very pretty with how it shifts. And then let's also swatch Mary, which is definitely more of a grungy, brassy tone. Look at that. Very, very nice, very grungy, earthy tone on there. So this palette has a really nice range of your more grungy neutrals in with very bright, vibrant pops of color. So it is really, really pretty, and the whole thing, like, it feels like quality. It is so heavy without being cumbersome, like, because there are some palettes out there that are massive for no reason. This is not massive, but it just feels good. Like, it feels hefty, like you've got something luxury there. So I absolutely love that palette. Then in the number 3 spot, I had mentioned this already kind of in my fall palettes list, but it is from ColourPop, the Hocus Pocus palette. I absolutely love the original one. It is so, so pretty. The artwork is spot on for what you would expect for Hocus Pocus. This is what the actual palette inside looks like with the cauldron. And then inside you have the artwork of the Sanderson sisters, and then this is the color story. Again, fits the color story of the Hocus Pocus so, so well. You have the 3 main colors that the Sanderson sisters wear, as well as some additional light and dark neutral shades on the outer edges. It is so, so pretty. So we will go ahead and swatch. Why don't we go with Brew Potion, which is a pressed glitter, but I don't mind the pressed glitters from ColourPop because they have some kind of additive that they put in there that makes it very nice and soft and smooth. And so you can see just how nice and opaque that is. The glitter doesn't go everywhere. It just stays right where you put it, so you don't really even need a glitter primer or anything. They just already have something in the formula that does it for you. There are also a bunch of really nice metallics in there, and I mean, ColourPop, if you're looking for a fairly inexpensive eyeshadow palette with decent quality formula, it's always gonna be a good option. But my number 2 is going to be from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Haunted Europe palette. I also keep the exterior packaging for this guy because just, ooh, look at that. All right, and then on the inside, this is where they took it up a step. You have this. It is one of those changing things where it goes from like a skull and a red-coated lady to like a kind of Victorian era lady on there, and it just so, so stunning. It goes back and forth between having Nomad and Haunted Europe on there. It is just so pretty. I mean, really cool effect on there. And then when you open it up, this is a Halloween palette. Look at those shades on there. So perfectly grungy. I mean, the neutrals are more orange leaning. Then you have some grungy purple tones and blues and greens. Just the whole thing is absolutely stunning. Let me go ahead and swatch some of these metallics because they are really beautiful. The Catacombs especially is like a perfect grungy, almost olive green tone. Like, it's like a gunmetal gray with olivey tones and then a little bit of a brown base to it. So just the perfect grungy tone on there. All right, and then if we're wanting to take a look at just the most gold of golds, I will show you guys this guy because it is, look at that. So gold. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. Not a foil, this is just a standard metallic and it is that shiny. That is beautiful. So this whole palette is just absolutely awesome. I remember last year when this came out, I did so many looks with it. I mean, you can tell it is well loved. Those metallics have been dug into a bunch of times. So I really love this palette. It also, as all the Nomad palettes do, has really cool little etchings on all of the different shades. You can't see all of them, but like you can see the Nomad symbol in the orange one, some little gravestones in there. This one has a castle on it, some little caskets. So on a few of them, you can still see some of the stuff, but on the shades that I have used, there's nothing left. But I absolutely love it. There's some bats and like spider webs and everything in here as well, and it is just so nice. So definitely my number 2 palette, highly recommend. And then our number 1 palette is going to be from Jolie Beauty. It is the Vampirism palette, and this guy I tried out last year and it was like the shock of the year for me because I had never even heard of Jolie Beauty, and they are from England, and it is just a stunning palette. Look at that. If you are wanting a gothic Halloween palette, this is the one for you because all of these stunning deeper red shades, the deeper gold shades on here, all of it is so gorgeous. And then the browns are like these cool toned browns, kind of like the browns I have on my lids now. Just, oh, so gorgeous. I absolutely love them. Like if you were curious, the Lestat shade, which is this kind of shimmery white shade, is actually what I have on the inner third of my lid right there, and it is just so gorgeous. I am going to go ahead and swatch Venom for you, which is a multi-chrome that they have in this palette out of nowhere. So that is this guy. It goes from like cranberry red to purple to green. So there you can see the green almost to gold with that cranberry red, and then it kind of goes into like a purplish shade. It is just so gorgeous with that shift and just out of nowhere. Because when I got it, I definitely was not expecting a multi-chrome at all, and then boom, there it was. And then the other shade I will swatch for you guys is Vampirism. It is such a soft formula for a metallic and so gorgeous. Grungy, like brassy tone again, but with like gold to green. So there you can kind of see the greenish tone into that lighter gold, but so grungy with how that base fills it out. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. So this whole palette I think is absolutely stunning. The only thing I can do without, again, is the 2 pressed glitters that are over here, but to have this size palette with this many gorgeous shades and they all blend together perfectly. It is just, the mattes, really good formula, very pigmented, metallics are stunning. So this is my number 1. But I would love to know what you guys think. What are your rankings? What are your favorite Halloween palettes? If there are any that I haven't mentioned, what are they? I would love to find them. So just let me know in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you did not, as we always do here. And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe and join my family here. We talk about indie brands a whole lot. We swatch all kinds of stuff. We do normally very colorful makeup. I'm just feeling very gothy right now, but normally very colorful. And so if that sounds like fun, I would love it if you would join my family here. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.